Welcome to The Preferred List, a podcast about the people behind the best wedding days. I'm James, a wedding filmmaker. I've spent years in the industry working alongside incredible vendors, and this show is all about the real conversations with the ones who make it happen. Whether you're a vendor or a couple, you'll get honest insight, good stories, and maybe a little inspiration along the way. Let's meet today's wedding vendor. Amanda, how's it going?
It's going great. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for being on. Amanda runs Everyone Deserves Flowers, which, if you can't guess from the name, we're talking florals today,
We are talking
which is
florals.
so fun. I can't wait to jump into our conversation. Before we do, though, we're going to talk a little bit about our venue for today, Drewmore Estate. Drewmore Estate is a luxury wedding venue located in the rolling farmlands of southern Lancaster County. The 16,000 square foot brick Georgian mansion located on the second highest elevation in the county was built in 1938 as a party house for newspaper magnate John Steinman. It provides robust views of forestry, hillsides, and even the city of Lancaster's skyline. The estate's long-standing legacy of elegance and hospitality continues to flourish, becoming a place where magical memories are made and couples' most important days come to life. It also provides the unparalleled Drewmore Estate experience for weddings and events of all sizes. From the mansion and formal gardens to the grand tent and carriage house, every event at Drewmore Estate becomes more than a celebration. It becomes a part of history. But Amanda, thank you so much for being on today.
Yeah.
I can't wait to dive into all of the floral things. But before we get into some of the tips and tricks and the stuff that you've learned over the years, I'd love to hear more about how this all started for you.
Well, my first job ever when I was 15 was at a flower shop. So I saw the ad in the paper when we used to read the paper and
When we used to read the paper.
called the shop
Love it.
and they said to come in for an interview. And I used to go after school and scrub buckets and stock the cooler, clean flowers, just your regular, shop girl stuff. Just a few hours a week. But I just never stopped. I've been working with flowers since I've been 15 and I just turned 40. So,
I love that.
yeah.
That is so fun. Was it something that you had thought about before? Or you just like, hey, I'm going to try that. And then you realized you loved it.
Yeah, I mean, I was in like art classes in school and I lived in New Jersey. So I initially thought that I was going to go to school for fashion, work in some type of art field. Um, and it kind of just was appealing to me to work in a flower shop and it really does suck you in. And it was a heavy wedding flower shop, so I think that that part of it was super appealing to me to be able to set all of that up and do all the grunt work even though I was behind the scenes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And almost like not getting a chance to see the actual thing get put together, but just doing some of that kind of
Yeah.
like behind the scenes work. Tell me a little bit more about the process that you went through going from I'm scrubbing buckets to I'm arranging florals and
Yeah.
installing.
I mean, so my first job was when I was 15. I obviously had some type of career path. I did go to college and I did pursue
She was a
fashion.
normal adult, people. It's okay.
Yes, I didn't just scrub buckets for years and years. But I always did flowers on the side. So for friends and family, small events, big events, whatever. And then we moved out here to Pennsylvania when I was 21. And I continued to do it for friends and family. And I actually started a blog called Everyone Deserves Flowers.
Oh,
So that
interesting.
blog was just about me being a single mom and the day-to-day things that I did. And I would post flowers that I did, diets I did, whatever. And from there, people started contacting me and asking me to do weddings. So Everyone Deserves Flowers, my blog, became my business.
That's so fun.
So it kind of just was an accidental entrepreneur story.
So what were you doing like work-wise before, and then tell me a little bit about that transition from going
Oh,
like what
yeah.
you were doing to like full-blown Everyone Deserves
hmm
Flowers business.
So I had moved to Pennsylvania, went back to school for business. So I got a job at an insurance company just doing like admin work. I had my daughter as a single mom. So trying to do the 9 to 5 thing. So I was home at night. But then I was realizing as Everyone Deserves Flowers was growing, I was not 9 to 5. I was 9 to 5. And then I was
Five
5 to
to
11 o'clock at
yeah.
night and I wasn't seeing her. Um, in the midst of all this, I got married and I got pregnant with my second. And I had said to my husband, I can't do both.
Yeah.
It's just, you can't. So I decided to leave the corporate world, which I hated so much. Like, I am not somebody to sit at a desk in front of a computer. Um, and that was it. So I did that, and I had my daughter on May 31st, and I set up a wedding on June 9th.
Oh my goodness.
And he had to come with me because I couldn't like step on ladders and
I was gonna
stuff.
say you're not like carrying the heavy stuff, and
So
yeah.
we had like a full book, and I left my job, and that was it, just kind of happened.
So what was it that gave you the like reassurance that that was gonna work out, or maybe you didn't have it, but like
Yeah,
what kind of drove you to be like, yeah, let me take this leap of faith, leave the steady paycheck, and
that's
do this thing?
truly what it was. It was a leap of faith. I was like, I had said to him, I'm making two incomes right now, enough that one paid for our wedding, and one was, so I technically had two jobs, and we're just going to see what happens here. And if it doesn't work, I go back to work.
Yeah,
Like, let's just try it. Um, so that's what I did. And there's years that I don't do as well as others, like COVID.
yeah,
And then, when I had a book of 30 something weddings and I was working a full time job, that was the day
that's crazy.
that I said, I can't.
I have a friend that does Marcus Summers films. He was working a full-time job and doing like 30 wedding videos. I was like,
Yeah.
bro, how are you doing all that?
With a family,
Yeah,
it's hard.
yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like it sets you up if you're willing to put the time and effort in to like
Mhm.
build two things, and you could put all of your effort into the one thing.
Well, yeah, that's what they say, right? Like, you can only be half as good at two things
Yeah,
or really good at one thing.
yeah, for sure.
So,
How have you seen your business grow from when you first jumped in and did that leap of faith to now?
honestly, I wish I would have taken a little bit more time to figure out that leap, or maybe set myself up a little bit more, because it was a slow rise.
Okay.
Um, Slower than I see some now, the way that Instagram is run and the way that social media
Yeah.
things are happening for people. That didn't happen for me. Like, I started Facebook. Instagram was when you were still like editing your pictures with sepia. Like,
Yeah.
it just wasn't like business savvy at that time. So I really had to work hard. And I will say that COVID changed the trajectory of how other vendors work together. We all, as florists, started a group chat, and we were helping each other.
That's really
And
cool.
leaning on each other. And prior to that, that wasn't a thing. So I feel like now florists coming into the game have it a lot easier. They're freelancing, they're helping other people. We just didn't,
Yeah.
15 years ago.
Yeah. You just had to make it work.
Yeah.
Would you say that most of your stuff was word of mouth at that point?
It was word of mouth. Yeah. And I mean, Facebook, the blog, people's moms knew and would tell their daughters. And I mean, I'm old, I'm an oldie in the scheme of
Yeah, it is
the
funny.
new
Like
vendors.
you
Like,
go like 35, 40, 45, and you're like, am I too old to be doing this?
I'm aging out. No, hope not.
Yeah, hopefully not. Yeah. It is funny though, because I feel like with the age comes more intentionality with the way that you do things.
Hmm. Experience.
Has the experience changed the way that you approach your wedding days, approach your couples, how you're
100%.
like, in what ways has that kind of really changed for you?
Um, I will absolutely not have a conversation through DM or Facebook Messenger. We're not doing that. I'm sorry. We're not going to text each other at 11 o'clock at night. Whereas before, I just wanted anything that I could get, and I
Yeah.
was responding to people in the middle of the night. And with experience, you realize that being available to people all of the time does not necessarily mean being professional.
Yeah.
So,
Or building a big business or something like that.
no, like right now, there's no way I could keep up with it, by the way, like anymore. But you have to learn your boundaries. And I think that that was a really big part of the experience of building your own business.
Yeah.
People expect and they respect boundaries.
Yeah. It is kind of a weird thing too, because you would think like as a business owner, you're like, "Ah, I'm just trying to make the most I can. I'm just trying to
Hmm.
get the most out of all of like the season that I have and the time that I have. But there's something to be said where if you're saying no to some things, then you're able to say yes to maybe some better opportunities,
Hmm.
some more ideal couples. Like it's totally fine that you have ideal couples or clients that you want to work with.
Yeah.
Take me back to your first wedding, if you can. You can
As
remember a
EDF,
first.
okay.
What was that like? What did you learn from it? How is it like different than weddings you're doing now?
Okay, so I did it in the dining room of my house with an air conditioner for a friend of a friend. Um, and I've definitely learned a lot since then. I mean, I think we looked at the order and said, okay, we have 5 bouquets, so let's order all these flowers and play with them. Where now everything is stem counted and
Mm,
we have a recipe for everything. We know what's going in everything, and everything has a cost.
yeah,
Where all of this just kind of happens along the way, and there's a lot of work that goes into the back end of floristry that I don't think that people know or understand.
unpack a little bit of that. Let us know. Like,
Yeah.
spill the tea.
I mean, it starts with a consult, and then there's follow ups, and then there's all of this inspiration on Pinterest and Instagram. So your vision is bound to change. But from there, we have to source your products. So there's wholesalers that we work with and local flower farmers trying to find what you need, or what we need to fill those recipes and that vision for you, which is hours of work in
Yeah,
itself. And then when the flowers arrive, let's say we always get our flowers on a Wednesday. Our flowers arrive on Wednesday and they are dropped off. It takes us hours, and I have a team of 5 of us some days. Um, Most of the time, there's at least 3 of us working. And it takes us hours just to process those flowers. Every single flower is touched, cleaned, groomed, cut, put in water, put in the cooler before we can even do anything with it.
yeah,
And I don't think that people know that all of that is happening. They just think, oh, she plays with flowers. They come in buckets, they're already done.
yeah.
No, they come packaged and sometimes like cold from the airport to my garage. So
It's like a whole
it
process
is an
behind the scenes.
absolute process. And actually on Instagram, I just did a day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5 series so they could see that it's not just one day of work. Because you don't know how often people say, oh, it must be so nice to work on a weekend day and that be it. Like,
Like, no.
yeah,
Excuse me?
no. Even a photographer, I mean, shows up, they work, but then they have hours of
Yeah,
editing and they work on it for a month.
yeah.
But it's nobody knows
Well,
that.
and then on top of all that, you're communicating with clients, couples, trying to create the vision,
I
do
think
the
that the
actual work.
hardest
Yeah.
thing for me is during wedding season, still booking for the following wedding season. Like, not only do I have to carve out all of this time to make these weddings happen, but I have to carve out the time to get on the phone with people, create new vision boards, get them out in a timely manner
Yeah.
because they're booking for this time next year
Yeah.
and they want your attention as well.
Yeah, for sure. And that's a little bit of the hardships of business and being in the wedding industry, but I'm sure there's something in there that's like drawing you back, the
Oh, yeah.
passion. Like, what is it about working with flowers, doing the installations, working with couples that just keeps you coming back and keeps
Yeah.
you excited and keeps you driven?
I mean, at the end of the day, we are working with people for probably their most important and exciting day of their life yet. So there's that. Like, I get to go to work and everybody's going to be happy that day.
Yeah.
That's such a cool thing. We walk in and they're excited to see you. They're excited to see it all come to fruition, and so are we. So we've now had all of these conversations about a vision, and we've sourced all of your product, and we're sweaty and gross working on the flowers. But now we showed up, and you get to
Yeah.
see all that work come to fruition. That's really cool.
I'm laughing because the amount of times that I put my video camera up to a florist working and they're like, no, 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 no,
Oh,
get out of here, get out of here, get out of
you
here.
don't, yeah.
But I'm like, I want to see the process and have it come together on the video in some cases, but it's just funny. I'm just laughing.
Yeah, I mean, we never show up looking pretty. It's
Yeah.
always like workout clothes and our hair
Yep.
up because we're up and down ladders and we're opening big boxes of greenery. Like, that is what
Yeah.
it is.
I'm curious when you're talking about style and design and putting together that vision for couples, is it tough or how has social media kind of changed that landscape of like what you're given as
Yeah.
inspiration versus like you getting a chance to kind of just run with an idea?
Okay. So I have had conversations with other florists and visionaries, and I feel that it's so helpful. Like, I genuinely like the fact that you can create a Pinterest board, send it to me, and we're all on the same page. I started in a day when we had pictures, like printed pictures from CVS of things that we've done before. And we're going to sit down and look at this book.
Yeah.
And this is a red bouquet. Like
Yeah.
it's so
So
much
different.
easier to
Yeah.
build this vision board. I will say AI and some things on Pinterest that are altered give people a false impression,
Yeah, for sure.
especially when it comes to budget. And you got to know the area that you live in and the budgets that you're working with. So sometimes people will expect a lot more out of their order form than what they can really afford.
I
So
mean, you
that's a
see a
thing.
big installation, and you're like, oh, that's probably not too bad.
Yeah,
And it's like, that's a lot more money than what
that's
you're
the whole
thinking.
budget.
Yeah. Talk to me a little bit about budget. How can they invest in their floral arrangements,
hmm
design, bouquets, and get like the most out of that money that they're investing? All right, before we keep going with today's episode, I wanted to take a quick second to tell you about something that fits really well with what we're building here on the Preferred List podcast. This show is all about connecting couples with vendors, sharing their story, and there's no better place to find out more about vendors in your area than the PA Wedding Guide. They are the sponsor of today's episode, and let me tell you more about how they can help you plan the best wedding day. They've curated a platform where you're able to filter through vendors, not like you're on Google just hoping to find the best fit. You're able to put in your location, your budget, the values that you have, and you find the answer instantly. Are you looking for a photographer that's 30 miles away and fits your budget? Done. A florist that specializes in a specific style? It's right there. You're not sending 15 different emails to vendors that might not even service your area. You find the right vendor the first time, you connect, and you can move right along in the planning process. And that's what I'm talking about. There is no wasted time with PA Wedding Guide. That's paweddingguide.com. If you're engaged in Pennsylvania, it's free to search, so go take a look. You'll thank me later. Now back to today's episode.
I always tell them budget is not a scary or a bad word. It is literally the start of our conversation. We're going to waste a lot of time if we don't have that conversation first. So whether your budget is 3,500 or 14,000, that's going to let things flow for us and divvy some things out for us. So I mean, my advice to them is that the bridal bouquet and the ceremony are the most important parts of the day.
Mm.
So the bridal bouquet ends up in almost every photo. You're cuddling with your husband, you have your family formals. Same thing with the ceremony. Those are the pictures that are going to end up on your gallery wall. Those are the pictures that your mom's going to share as a birthday shout out on Facebook forever, for
Yeah.
years to come. So if I'm looking at it from a budget perspective and we're wondering where the biggest bang for your buck should be, let's focus on those items, see how we can repurpose from there to reception and work our way down.
Yeah, because there's a lot that I've seen as like a not floral person that I'm seeing like, okay, here's, some installments that have gone down the aisle that are
hmm
getting pulled and
hmm
put over in reception
Yeah.
areas or other spaces.
Yep.
Is that kind of like, are there other ways that they can be kind of like repurposing some different
Well,
installations?
yeah, definitely. If you have the hands or the florist to help with that, then yes. I mean, they can take apart an arch, they can repurpose it as sweetheart table or a mantle, like you said, using these aisle meadow arrangements as tall arrangements.
That's such a better word than whatever I just used.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't know the terminology. So,
I'm learning.
so yeah, that's definitely a conversation that we like to have, which kind of is going to segue into the next thing. Having a full service wedding florist as opposed to your typical kitchen florist when you are talking about the biggest day of your life.
Okay.
So, we are a full service wedding florist. There are many full service wedding and event florists that are willing to help with that flip and to talk you through repurposing and different things that we can do. And we also offer different rentals that might help, candles and vessels that might help, so the bride is not worrying about collecting those things
Gotcha.
and packing them up at the end of the night. Um, so that's one of the things that I feel should be one of the first questions I'm asked when I am on the phone. And a lot of times it's just about
How do they how do
cost.
they ask to figure out like what's the difference between full service and the kitchen sort of?
Um, Honestly, it's just experience. Full service florists will know that it is the delivery, it's the setup, it's knowing that they might have to flip and repurpose items. And then there is breakdown at the end of the night that we're providing all of the vessels, maybe candles, and we're not going to put any of that on the bride or the groom to pack up to return any of that at the end of the night. It's just a full service.
Yeah. There's I feel like there's just so much that couples don't know
Hmm.
until they get into it. Like, when would they have ever hired a florist for anything? Same. When would they ever have hired a videographer? And I'm
Right.
always like, ask all the questions. Get Even if you don't book with me, I want you to know more about the thing that we're
Yeah.
talking about so that you can go and make an educated decision, because that's going to land you with the right person for you.
I know. I hate being sales pitchy too. Like, I
Yeah.
hate being sales pitchy when I'm having a conversation with somebody because I really want to put them at ease. And our consultation is a fun one because we get to start seeing this vision and all of these ideas come together within their budget and at their venue. So, this mood board that I create for them is an experience for them to kind of see that. And I don't want to be like, so you should really look into all of these technical terms.
Yeah.
And that's just definitely not I don't know, not my way of selling.
Yeah, well, you want them to know all the stuff and make a choice based off of what they see. It's tough though, because they might see beautiful arrangements, but they don't know what it's going to be like to continue that working relationship with a vendor until they get into it,
Yeah.
right? What is it like for you working alongside planners, coordinators, venue owners,
Yeah.
maybe, or what's that all look like for you?
I mean, I love it. I love when a couple has a planner. I'm not going to say that every couple should have a planner, because I do feel that some venues have a very good grasp on running the day and helping them along.
Mm.
So this is a gray area. I don't know if we should go here. But there's always the conversation of, are they a venue host or are they a
I
planner?
have that conversation with all the planners. It's so interesting.
I know. And
So
and I'm
interesting.
like, I don't know.
Yeah, and you don't until
I
you start
do know.
asking.
And when I first started Everyone Deserves Flowers, I did a little bit of coordination
Interesting.
because when we would be hired to stay for the flip and clean up, I'm like, well, I might as well just get them down the aisle
Yeah,
for an upgraded fee and we'll just hang out. It ended up being a very long day and a
yeah,
lot more stress than I personally wanted. Especially as my business grew, I just couldn't do it all.
yeah.
But
Yeah, I literally ask when I have a planner, coordinator, or any version of the two, I'm like, what are you?
I know.
How are you different than the other things that people call you?
Yeah.
Um, because again, it's like we said, if a couple doesn't know, they think a planner does X, Y, and Z.
Hmm.
This person is calling themselves a planner, but they're really like a day of coordinator.
Yeah.
You get yourself into a situation where you think something's going to happen and it doesn't.
Yeah.
Right. So if you're not sure, ask the questions. Just like you said about
Hmm.
the full service florist versus sort of the kitchen, or they're just kind of throwing stuff together. Here's your
Hmm.
buckets of flowers. You're like,
Right.
wait, I thought you were putting all this together. I
Yeah.
thought you were moving
Moving stuff
that
and
to
hanging
here.
out. Yeah.
Yeah. But you're only going to get that information if you start asking questions.
Right.
In terms of style, do you have like a style? Or are you kind of just like
I
go with the
love this
flow?
question. This is another one I feel like couples, especially brides, should look up people's social media and Instagram and see if you like their style. Because every designer just has a different hand in things and a different way of doing things. So I do have a style. I feel like it's pretty classic and timeless, garden-esque. And when you open my Instagram,
That's what you see.
that's what you're going to see. So if you send me a picture from Pinterest, it's going to have a little bit of my vibe to it.
Yeah.
So you have to be okay with what I'm producing.
It's interesting because I feel like I've talked to some, and maybe not just florists, but just like style questions
Hmm.
in general, where it's like, no, I just kind of bend and weave with whatever
Hmm.
the couple's vision is.
Yeah.
But it's almost refreshing to hear, like, no, this is my style. This is
Yeah.
what I know that I'm really good at.
Yeah. I mean, don't
And
get me wrong. I could do
anything.
anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I can replicate whatever you want, but I definitely have a style.
How do you help couples that are coming? I mean, there's a gajillion flowers that they can pick from.
Hmm.
And I'm sure when you start doing the math, I'm sure the math is insane on like the different combinations,
Hmm.
colors. How do you kind of guide them in that sort of like, there's all these different plants that they can pick from, and then there's all these different ways that they can put them together and use them?
Um, well, most of them honestly have a clear vision or at least a look and feel of
Okay.
what they're going for. So they will have a Pinterest board or some type of inspiration photos to send prior to our meeting to give me a good idea of what we're looking for. Um, we don't really get into the nitty gritties of growers, wholesalers, and different varieties of flowers only because I have found over the years they don't know flowers the same way that I don't know how to be a nurse. I don't know healthcare. Like,
I don't either.
right,
My
like,
wife's a nurse and she says nurse things. I'm like,
right.
cool. Yeah.
Like, they don't know flowers. So I could show them two roses. One could be significantly more money, and they would pick the cheap one
Yeah.
because they just, I don't know. So we
It's
don't get
just
into all
different.
of that.
Yeah.
Um,
But if you stay out of the weeds, pun intended, maybe,
Pun.
um, you're able to bring more clarity in a sense.
Yes. So we don't get into the nitty gritties of the growers' varieties, expensive flowers, cheap flowers, whatever. We just kind of stick to a look and feel. And I will say that my business does not, we're not doing mums, carnations, daisies,
Okay.
I'm a wedding florist, so we're working with Lux Floral.
Yeah.
So they know what to
Well,
expect.
there's like a wildflower kind of feel that
Yeah,
I
I
would
mean, if you're going
assume.
wildflower, we're
Yeah.
going to give you wildflower that's going to last. It's not going to be something off the side of the road.
Yeah.
Like, your kids pick you stuff off the side of the road, you put it in a vase and it doesn't last. We're going to give you that look and feel.
Sometimes it's like a blade of grass. Like, I
I
got
know.
this for you.
I love when the
You're
kids
like,
give me a
thank you.
dandelion.
Yeah. As a florist, I'm sure that's hilarious. But still insanely cute.
I know. I don't get flowers, so I like
Yeah.
it.
So you brought up flowers that last, like they're not off the side of the road. They're going to last. How do you help couples keep those flowers looking good from the beginning of the day to the end? Like, what are you doing in your process to make sure that they're lasting just the day even?
Yeah. Well, as a wedding florist, we need them to last the whole day, right?
Yeah.
That's at least a day. But we get our flowers on Wednesday for processing, start designing late Wednesday, Thursday. I like to be doing personal flowers, which is like corsages, boutonnieres, touches on the bouquets if I have to, Friday, if the wedding is Saturday.
Gotcha.
If not, I'm doing it the night before, but no more than 24 hours ahead of time am I doing things out of water. And then we have a big cooler that everything stays in. Obviously, when we deliver, everything's in air conditioned, super cold as much as it can be. And then just really making sure everything's watered out of the sun. We're spraying on site if it needs to. We do the best that we can.
Yeah.
So, again, as a full wedding service florist, we are hanging out to make sure that we're not just plopping it in the sun, delivering and walking out the door. We're going to hang out. We're going to do other things in the reception so we can bring the ceremony out last minute, that type of thing.
Yeah.
Or until the photographer needs us. That's a big part of it.
Yeah.
And that actually is a big part of being a full service wedding florist as well, as we communicate with our vendors before the day of. Um, we're making sure that the photographer doesn't need detail photos or flowers for detail photos, and that the install is ready for 2 o'clock so they can do their early reveal.
Yeah.
Like, that kind of stuff kind of flows
Yeah.
with all of
I'm
it.
curious, since you're bringing up photographers, videographers, like content creators, what is it
Yeah,
like for you? A lot of like what other people are seeing could be
I
this
know.
like tagged from someone else kind of thing.
Hmm.
How does that
Like,
relationship kind of work, and like what's it like on your end of things?
like tagged from a
Yeah,
photographer.
so like people are seeing like everyone's there's flowers is represented by this photographer's
Hmm.
photos, and like how does that?
We love a good photographer. That's all I can say.
Yeah,
um, we're not, we like to work with everybody. We love to meet new people. We do see a lot of albums and a lot of videos. Um, and we always appreciate getting the professional photos because honestly, that's what's all over our Instagram too. So
Yeah.
thank you guys for doing what you do.
It's just so interesting to me. And I know you could take your own photos, you could use your
hmm
phone, but like it's not the same.
It's not the
I'm a
same.
little biased because, cameras, but um it's so interesting to me for you to have this like sort of reliance on
hmm
a good photographer doing a good job
I
and
know.
representing your product
I
really
know.
well on a wedding day.
I know. And our Instagram will never be completely consistent because it's filled with so many different
Right.
edits and you just got to get over that. So, but yeah, there's great photographers out there that do amazing work and give us all of the content that we need.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure that part's nice.
It's wonderful.
What would you say is one thing that makes a floral installment, or, if you're thinking like the entirety of the florals for a wedding day, what's one thing that makes it truly unforgettable?
Mm. I mean, honestly, just remaining true to the couple and things that are meaningful to them, even when it comes to flowers. So, over the years, I have seen so many trends come in and out, and couples go with a trend as opposed to what they're into,
Mm,
like the boho trend. I'm not boho. I'm
yeah.
not outdoorsy. I'm a Jersey girl. It just doesn't fit me.
Yeah.
But I've seen it happen. So I have a feeling that some people might look back and be like, that was silly. Why do we have all this pampas grass? But I just think that remaining true to who you guys are as a couple and your style helps
Yeah.
bring it all together and unforgettable. And also, there's just like maybe religious factors or memorial factors that you might want to put in there.
I love the idea too of it being like a pass or fail based off of how true to yourself it was, and
I
not just
know.
like, oh, we followed the trend and it was fun and
I
cool. It's
know.
like, what are you going to want if you look back on these florals
And
in
this,
10 years or
yeah.
15 years? You're going to be like, oh, that still feels like us. And not just
Yes.
like, oh, that was a weird, why do we do that?
You just hit the nail on the head. That is one of the conversations I have with almost every bride on the phone is, are you going to look back at this orange and blue wedding in 10 years and wonder, did I really love the Knicks? Like, you know? And they're like, you know what? Yeah. And that's
I guess
where,
this year, yeah, they won,
yeah,
right?
they really like them this year.
Okay, cool. I don't basketball, so
But yeah, that's where I'm like classic and timeless florals are definitely something that I fall to my own trend with.
yeah, I love that. This has been so good. I have a couple questions
Okay.
left. A little bit more of like forward thinking on one of them.
Ooh.
Where do you see Everyone Deserves Flowers going in the future?
I don't know. I feel like we're really at a comfortable spot.
You're like,
um,
don't change a thing. It's great.
I know. We have a full book for the past few years, and we are very grateful for that. I have amazing freelancers that work with me to help me because this is not a one person thing at all.
Yeah.
So I'm very grateful to have like built this team and we all work together. We help each other. So right now I feel like we are at a very comfortable spot and we have the systems and the processes in place. I don't know what that means for me. I mean, it's always been a dream to have a storefront, but then there's days that weddings just take up so much of the time. I don't know how I would do it.
Yeah. It'd be a whole different venture.
That's a whole nother thing. Yeah. So maybe one day.
Yeah. Okay, two more questions. One's a fast one. What's your favorite flower to be working with right now?
Right, like this right now,
Right this second.
right this second. Well, peony are my favorite flower,
Okay.
which I feel like every girl says that, but I actually chose to get married in June in the middle of wedding season myself because I needed peony everywhere. um, but I love orchids. I really do. So I think that everyone deserves orchids should be my new mantra.
Yeah. Just change your whole brand because of
Yeah.
the one flower. That's so fun. Um, Last question. It's been so fun. What do you hope that people experience by working with you and your brand and everyone that's like associated with Everyone Deserves Flowers?
Yeah, I just hope that they're comfortable. Like, honestly, when I'm on the phone with them, I want them to be comfortable. Tell me exactly what your budget is and what you're looking for and get off the phone with a sense of relief, like, wow, I was really nervous about this, but now I feel really good about the vision and bringing it all together. Like, and at the end of the day, if the review says she put me at ease, I'm like,
Got it.
got
I
it.
love that. This has been so fun, Amanda.
Yeah.
Just hearing your story, hearing
Oh,
more about Everyone Deserves Flowers and the heart behind it all.
yeah.
Where can people find and follow along with what you're doing?
Yeah. I mean, Instagram is a Rolodex of our work, and I try to be pretty vigilant with keeping up with it. So at everyone underscore deserves underscore flowers. And then we have Facebook and my website, everyonedeservesflowers.com.
Cool. And if you didn't catch any of that, all the links will be in the description below. You can just click and connect. But if you've made it this far in the episode, I really appreciate you tuning in. And I hope this episode has brought a ton of value, hearing Amanda's story, hearing more about florals, the do's and don'ts, all the tips and tricks. It's been so fun for me to learn more about you and your business. It's been fun. If you know someone who's getting married and they need flowers, share this episode with them because they might learn something new about florals that they didn't know before. And that's the whole goal with this podcast, is connecting vendors, getting their story out there, and allowing them to use their experience like you were talking about, and help couples learn what they don't know, because they don't know what they don't know until they realize they don't know it.
Yeah, honestly.
But thank you guys for tuning in to this episode. We will catch you next time on The Preferred List.
Yeah, thank you.